Hi, everyone. Welcome back into My Chamber TV. We're the heartbeat of the Tampa Bay community. I'm your host, Barbara Marville Kelly, and I want to thank you for joining us because we have a great chamber that we're featuring with the West Pasco Chamber of Commerce and great guests that we bring right to you. And our first guest happens to be Ed Spinks. It's great to have you with us. I can't wait to talk about what's going on in law because it always fascinates me, elder law, estate planning, why it's important to have a will or trust. So wherever you want to get started, let's go, because I think this is information that we need to get out there to people. And we're also going to be talking about veterans and their wives, too. So come close.
All right, Barbara, thanks for having me. It's great to be here today. Of course, I love talking about elder law and estate planning because that's basically what I do. And there's some, important things to remember in the estate planning. We like to say that we want to help families plan for the future, preserve their assets, and maximize their use of government benefits. That's where we talk a little bit about Medicare, Medicaid, and VA planning.
Mm-hmm. So where do you get started? Okay, as a senior, and there's so many things going on in the world, especially right now. Any help that you can give, any tips that you can give our viewers that are out there today would be so helpful. Where do they get started?
Sure. And some of the keys that I see are planning early. The earlier you're in front of it and getting that plan and just talking about what's out there, the more helpful that it is. Because it gives you more time to think about what you're doing and, not only think about it, but get those thoughts on paper and draft the will, the power of attorney, the trust. Those are all legally binding documents. So once you draft those documents, you're going to be able to be assured that your wishes are going to be carried out. Probably the power of attorney is one thing that comes up very frequently in my practice. I'm also on the board of Alzheimer's Family Organization that helps families with that has family members with dementia, especially that early onset of a diagnosis. At that point, you really got to start thinking about getting your documents in line. And the very first document I tell everybody is get the power of attorney done. The power of attorney grants another person to act on your behalf. So they're acting, just doing the things that you could do, be it making financial decisions, medical decisions, or making sure things are taken care of around the home if you should become incapacitated in the hospital or need more permanent care down the road. That power of attorney is going to be good for as long as you need the assistance, the care. It's going to last the duration of your life after you draft it and get it in the shape you want. So you see, it's important to have that power of attorney done early while you still have the capacity to make decisions and you can execute documents on your behalf before it gets too long down the road and you're incapacitated or otherwise in a facility or something where you might not be able to execute that document. Those documents can be done very, very affordably. And doing that prevents your family member from going to court down the road, paying attorneys, doctors, and legal fees to get the legal right to act on your behalf because it wasn't done before.
You just answered my question ahead of time, because people are people, and sometimes you live with someone that has that, and I guess first it's denial, and then they start to face, I got to do something here. And so to get that power of attorney initially, that just makes good common sense. But you know what? We're not thinking about those things. We sail through life, and then all of a sudden, you're faced with memory problems, and then it goes into deeper and deeper and deeper. So it's probably, I'm thinking, something to do when we just hit a certain age and we're married and we do that just automatically, because it also gives that peace of mind. I think that peace of mind says a lot when you have a piece of paper that says, yeah, you can make your decisions for that family member, because otherwise it can get messy.
That's absolutely true, and I recommend that a lot, especially when people are new families, having children, buying a house. They're getting those affairs in order to take care of their family, and it's just another document to have, another planning tool to have made. You plan on your retirement, you plan on your life insurance, and to have these documents drafted in a timely manner, that's exactly right. The earlier the better, and particularly I say, when you get married, have children, these are times to reevaluate your plan and update your plan.
Sure, and just kind of stay on top of it. Elder law. Let's talk about elder law.
Certainly.
And what the top things that we should know that we don't know for elder law. What is elder law? What age does that start at? How do we raise that awareness with ourselves as a senior citizen?
And elder law is kind of a big umbrella. Mm-hmm. So you typically talk about elder law in the scope of what we have been saying, drafting wills, drafting documents, and all the pre-planning.
Okay.
That's what we've been talking about so far, is pre-planning, before something happens, having a plan in place.
Okay.
But we also have to deal with frequently crisis planning, because like you said, it's a somewhat of a difficult subject. You don't want to think about it. You want to put it off, and it's easy to procrastinate and not necessarily get your documents in order early. Mm-hmm. So when a major event happens that would make a spouse or a loved one incapacitated, and then they come see us at that point, we call it crisis planning. So elder law attorneys deal with pre-planning and also with crisis planning. In the crisis planning arena, typically what I see is a family member or a loved one needing to go to a nursing home or assisted living facility. So going back to what I was saying on maximizing benefits, there's a number of government benefits that are going to help pay for those facilities, be it Medicare, Medicaid, VA, pension, aid and attendance. There's a number of benefits out there that people typically don't know how to maximize the use of. And so as an elder law attorney, we're able to help them in a crisis situation also maximize the use of their government benefits, which they're entitled to, but they may not, know the best way to go about applying for them or qualifying for all the benefits. Also, under the umbrella of elder law attorney, we also deal with children or family members with special needs. Frequently, if you have a child or a family member who has special needs, they'll be entitled to certain benefits, government benefits and programs they need for their medical care, their health care, typically when they turn 18. They'll also be in the need of guardianship, normally somebody to act on their best interest once they turn 18. So we help structure their assets and their long-term plan through using special needs trusts, for instance, or something new called an ABLE Act account, which allows people with disabilities to save some money and still qualify for government benefits. And we do that type of stuff too. So elder law is kind of a big umbrella. That's the portions of it that I deal with anyway. And there's probably some other things that I'm not even thinking of that come under the elder law specific umbrella that other people would be more focused on than myself.
Okay, that's really good information. We have just under 5 minutes to finish this particular segment, but I was saving some of the best for last. I do want to thank you for your 25 years in the Marines. Thank you very, very much for that. What about the veterans and their surviving spouses? Let's dedicate these last few minutes to helping our veterans, and what happens if our veterans don't come back.
Certainly. You're welcome. It was definitely my pleasure to serve the country for 25 years, and it was probably the best decision I made. Went in when I was 17 and was able to be in the Marine Corps and finally retire. My last 10 years I served as an attorney in the Marine Corps, so I kind of came up from all the way at the bottom up to retiring as a major. So that was, great time for me to be able to see some of the world. And it also has prepared me in the elder law arena to deal with the government benefits through the Veterans Administration. So Depending on the time in service and the status of the veteran, typically the spouse, they may be eligible for a number of veteran benefits, be it veteran pension, be it veteran compensation, or aid in attendance, which is a benefit paid on behalf of a veteran when they need additional assistance in living, hence the word aid and attendance. A lot of times that's overlooked because aid and attendance, you don't qualify until you're older, over 65, and if you're a wartime service veteran, it's a benefit that can be paid to help care for that elderly veteran. So it's frequently overlooked, so we like to point that out too, that those veterans may be entitled to that. And even more so than a veteran overlooking aid and attendance, the surviving spouse after the veteran has passed may be entitled to aid and attendance as well. And there's also another benefit that spouses frequently don't realize. It's called dependent indemnity compensation, or DIC. So that's a benefit that can be paid to a dependent spouse after the veteran dies, if he dies from a condition relating to his time in service. Where we frequently see that is veterans from Vietnam having conditions related to Agent Orange. There's a list of conditions that are derived from Agent Orange, and if they pass from one of those conditions, certainly the spouse would be entitled to DIC. So that's a couple of the veteran benefits that we see out there and that are often overlooked, and it can really be a big help for those veterans or the spouses of veterans at the time they're needing some additional care, be it in assisted living, nursing home, or even if they just need care in the home.
Sure.
They can still use that aid and attendance resource to provide home health care if they need it in the home at that time.
Okay. Well, that's easily understood. Well, thank you. This is some really good information for our viewers out there, and hopefully that has helped you maybe think about giving this gentleman a call, Mr. Ed Spinks with Spinks Law Firm. Now, you're a member of the Chamber.
Yes,
How
I
long
am.
have you been a member?
I've been a Chamber member for almost 2 years, I would say.
Okay, very good. How's it been working for you?
The Chamber's been great for me. We have a main office in Tampa and a satellite office in Land O'Lakes. So when I moved up to Lutz, we opened up the satellite office in Land O'Lakes for meeting. The Chamber's been great to introduce me to a number of other professionals here in the Pasco County area, to get to meet a lot of people, and to also be able to help market my practice to the families that may need assistance in setting up their estate plan or doing a little bit of pre-planning. And it's great to be located in Land O'Lakes, where people are close to me, and I can get people in and out of the office with a reasonable drive.
Awesome. Well, thank you for coming on My Chamber TV today.
You're welcome. It was
All
great.
right.
I'm glad you had me.
Yes, good information. If you would like to sit down and talk to Mr. Spinks, by all means, get a hold of him at Spinks Law Firm and get some of your questions answered, because you just never know when you may be in a challenging position. It's always good to be prepared, just like a Boy Scout. Thanks for joining us. Hi, everyone. Welcome back into My Chamber TV. We are the heartbeat of the Tampa Bay community. I'm your host, Barbara Marville Kelly, and we're featuring the West Pasco, Greater West Pasco Chamber of Commerce right here in Newport Richey. I do have my next guest who happens to be Christy Smith. You're going to definitely want to hear what she has to say. She is with the Residence Inn Suncoast Parkway, Northpointe Village. And if you've been thinking about getting out of the house, if you're traveling, if you need extended stay, this is a gal that you need to listen to, and I can't wait to hear more.
Thank you.
So what's happening over there?
Gosh, well, we're really busy. It's been a very busy year. I mean, since COVID, we've been surprisingly, we've been quite busy. We have a lot of extended stay families staying with us, and we've had nurses stay with us, and now we have corporates starting to come back and stay with us a bit. So it's been busy.
That's really exciting. Now, let's talk about the extended stay. We were talking about this just before because of the real estate market and people selling their homes in like one day, and I've seen it happen. How does that work?
Okay, so we have fully equipped kitchens at our hotel, and we are pet friendly, and so all of our suites are kind of like mini apartments. We have studios, 1 bedrooms, and 2 bedrooms, which makes us very popular for larger families. And so all rooms have the fully equipped kitchen, and then they have a sofa bed and then a king bed, and they also have like a little living area with a dining table and a desk, so it's quite comfortable. And again, being pet friendly, we have a lot of families coming and staying with us in between closings, and with the large subdivisions that are in Pasco County, there's quite a few people that are moving in and in between closings. So we do actually have a good neighbor rate, and it's a discounted rate, and it's whether you're staying one night or if you're staying several months, the good neighbor rate. And of course, the longer you stay, the less it is. Once it passes 30 days, there's a discount. And then we don't have any kind of early checkout fee, so it works out for people that, sometimes it's hard when you're in an apartment trying to gauge, because closings, how with closings they can be delayed or maybe early. So that's the nice thing about us, is that there's no early checkout fee. And then what people need to consider too is, like, if you're staying in between closings for a couple months, is you don't have cable and electric and all of that on top of it. You just have your nightly rate, and that does include a complimentary breakfast in the morning and free Wi-Fi, and free parking.
Excuse me. That sounds like a little mini vacay.
Yeah. Oh, it's great. And we have an outdoor heated pool and a fire pit. And the really nice thing is the Residence Inn Northpointe is it's on the right at 54 and the Suncoast Parkway. There's the Northpointe Village that has 4 or 5 good restaurants and then an international beer garden just right across the street. So if they can cook, they can stay in the room and cook, and I mean, they have a full kitchen, so they have a full refrigerator with an ice maker. It's fully equipped with pots and pans, so they can stay home and cook, or if they want to walk across the parking lot, they can go to Carrabba's or Glory Days, or we have San Jose Mexican restaurant. We've got quite a few options in there for them.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
Very, very nice. That's exciting. How long have you been with them?
Actually, just started with them in January.
Oh.
I was a director of sales for a competing hotel I'll be in the area for 5 years, but I just started in January.
Oh, that's excellent. Let's talk about the cleanliness and what you do, what your protocol is. Let's make our viewers out there feel really super comfortable when they're thinking about maybe coming to Florida. We have customers that want to come down and check things out. We know that the real estate market is what it is. If you find something, get your offer in immediately. And this is really good to have in your hip pocket in the event that you are coming down and you need a place to stay and you'd like to be right in the hub of everything, of what's happening. The 54 corridor, I know, I'm a licensed real estate agent, have been for 36 years, and lived in the area. So this is really great news if you are thinking of relocating, because people are trying to get away from those crazy taxes up north and all of that and come down to this wonderful warm weather. So walk me through a typical cleansing of each of your, I like to call them apartments. They're not just rooms. They're like apartments.
They are. So yes, and I know, excuse me, with moving into the area, but also with the holidays coming around the corner, people are concerned about their families staying. So yes, the hotels they've they've put in much stricter protocol for their cleaning procedures. And my suggestion would be, if you're coming to the area to visit or to stay long term, of course I think that the Residence Inn by Marriott is your number one choice, but regardless, I would recommend choosing a name brand hotel, whether it's a Marriott, a Hilton, Choice Hotels, IHG, because they themselves, like we have 3 layers of cleaning standards. We have Marriott, what Marriott requires, which you can go to clean.marriott.com and look up what their protocol and procedures are. Then we are managed by a company called Concord Hotels, which have their own cleaning procedures. And then on top of that, we have to adhere to Pasco County's requirements as far as social distancing and wearing the mask and all. So a typical, like for me, a typical day or come in, well, I can kind of go through the list. So, our guest rooms. So we do have enhanced cleaning and disinfecting protocols to clean our rooms. We do like to try to keep them vacant for 48 hours. We do, besides the full, the enhanced cleaning, when our housekeeping manager goes to inspect the room, because there are soft surfaces. There's drapes, there's carpet, there's pillows, there's a couch. So she actually has it's a electrostatic cleanser, like a fogger that she'll spray in the room, and it disinfects everything. In fact, you can't even go into the room 30 minutes after because it's not safe for a person.
Well, that's good to know.
So that clears all the soft surfaces. They also, they're even disinfecting, paying close attention to disinfecting things like the door handles, the light switches, the remote controls, things that maybe you and I wouldn't think about. They're very particular about cleaning everything, and they even placing like the remote controls in little bags when they're done, just so that they know, okay, this has been, they have a checklist of everything that they have to do.
Sure.
They do. We also, we've pulled some things out of the room, and we've had to do that, just like salt and pepper shakers, things like that. Sorry, it's inconvenient. The Bibles have been pulled. That's just due to COVID, new cleaning standards. But we do, another thing that we leave for the guest is what is the little Clorox pad so that they can clean it. But I do suggest, there are some suggestions with staying at a hotel, because I know that people are concerned about their health, is one thing has been suggested is to not use the elevators. If you can, use the stairs. I suggest bringing Clorox wipes with you. We do provide it, but I myself would want to come and just Clorox everything down, just for my peace of mind.
I would do that too.
And even though the housekeepers do it, they will pull all of the utensils, glasses, dishes, everything, and run them through the dishwasher. But again, I'm the type that when I'm staying, I'm going to do that
You want to make
a
sure.
second time,
Yeah.
just because I know.
Sure.
So, and then we are pet friendly, but our rooms have to go through. We do charge a $50. It's a non-refundable one-time fee for the pet, and it really does go towards the pet treatment. There is a thorough pet treatment, and actually maintenance engineering does that. Not even the housekeepers don't even do it. It's so thorough. It takes men to do that. Mm-hmm. So that's part of it. So the guest rooms have been thoroughly sterilized. Public spaces are also being extra cleaned extra. We have 2 housemen now. We have it not just during the day, but then again at night during the overnight shift. We have that. The back of the house, so we have to keep all the spaces where you don't see have to be at the same standards of what you see. The staff had to go through all extensive training and continual training on new procedures and new protocol, because as you know, since COVID, new information is coming out, things are changing, so there's constant education that way. We do, we have stickers to encourage the 6-foot social distancing. We do require masks. No, if you're traveling to Pasco County, that's a requirement, but do know, even if you're traveling outside of Pasco County or Florida, there are Marriott, for example, they require that for all of their guests and all of the staff. So even in the back office, working at the computer, I'm wearing a mask. Mm-hmm. And front desk agents have gloves. Of course, they have the shield. We do offer complimentary breakfast, which used to be buffet style, but now the breakfast attendant, the guests come up, They have a menu. They give it to the breakfast attendant. She puts it all together for them and either gives it to them on a disposable plate if they want to stay in the breakfast area, or she will put it in bags to send it up to the room. So we want to still be able to offer the amenities that the guests enjoyed, as far as like the pool area. So we've moved furniture around or out to be able to ensure that 6-foot social distancing. And then we have the hand sanitizing stations around the hotel near the elevator, and so that at the where you're checking in, so you can always keep your hands sanitized. So that's kind of an overview of the procedures. Again, you can always visit. We have a Facebook page. Our Facebook page, Residence Inn by Marriott Northpointe. It's kind of a long one. Suncoast Parkway. Start typing it in, and you'll find it. We actually posted. It's called our Pure Stay document. And then again, you can visit clean.marriott.com to see what Marriott standards are, because we have to meet both of their standards.
That is quite a lengthy list, and it really, I'm trying to think if there's anything that you haven't covered, but you've covered anything I can think of, including doing our own homework and getting out there. And I always take wipes with me, and just to be on the safe side, because you just never know without overthinking it and going crazy. Yeah. But this is really good, because I think at this point people are, they're like pretty much over all this and are ready to get out, ready to travel, maybe even making decisions to sell their home elsewhere. Maybe you've got family down here in Florida. This is just, I feel really, really comfortable. And to know that you do have the extended stay, which makes it really nice with a full-out kitchen, imagine. So I think it's great. That's just so great. So you've been a member with the Chamber for how long?
Oh my gosh. Well, before this, the Residence Inn, I think, has been a member of the Chamber since they opened. And they've been open now, I think, 13 years. They did a renovation about 4 years ago. But yes, so they've been a part of the Chamber. And I've been a part of the Chamber since I started as a director of sales for another property. So I love the Chamber. I think it's extremely important. I'm always encouraging businesses, if you really, you want to, even, it doesn't matter what business you are, you want to bring the customers and get involved. The Chamber is the perfect place to do it.
Isn't it, though?
It is.
And it's like a family.
Yes.
It's like a business family. Everybody knows everyone. There's all kinds of different activities that you can get involved with. And you know what? When you're a member of the Chamber, you may have an opportunity to come on My Chamber TV and talk about your business, just like Kristi is doing here today with the Greater Pasco Chamber of Commerce. I think it's wonderful to be able to share these amenities with businesses in the community. All you have to do is tune in to My Chamber TV, and you'll be able to see what's happening in our community. We do special events, too, here with the Chamber. And it's just great to have you with us today, and I wish you continued success. I did ask Kristi how business was going, and you responded very well.
Yes.
So I love to hear that.
Yeah, we're very blessed. We've been very busy. And that's been a huge blessing.
Of course. Well, people have to travel. Some of these are essentials. They're, people that have not shut down their business for obvious reasons with the COVID, and we're moving on. We are moving on. So think about that. It's just a great place to stay, and you can check out Marriott.com if you would like to, and just check it out. Know that you're going to be safe there as well. Here's the website, and we thank you for being with us, and we'll see you back again right after this. Hi, everyone. Welcome back into My Chamber TV. We are the heartbeat of the Tampa Bay community. We're featuring the Greater Pasco Chamber of Commerce. Today we have some great guests and really a wonderful way to enlighten you on what's happening in the community of Newport Richey. Right now we have Charles Rudd, who is the Economic Development Director of the city of Newport Richey. I got that.
Yes, you did.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Great to have you with us. You have a lot to talk about, what's going on, what's opening up, how to be safe, how to communicate, how to engage. Where would you like to start?
Well, it's, as a lot of people are discovering, it's sort of a new day in Newport Richey. A lot's been going on over the last 6 or 7 years. And within the last year, we've really begun to tell people about that, to get the word out about downtown Newport Richey and the revitalization that's been going on there.
Mm-hmm. And they've been doing that for a good while. It's
Absolutely.
beautiful there. Talk about a resurgence. It's like, whew, it's breathtaking when you go in there now.
It is. There's been work, of course, for decades. Folks have been working on trying to revive the downtown. And then more recently, within the last, I guess it's been 6 or 7 years, with new leadership, a new city manager, Debbie Manns came to the city with an economic development background, which is really distinct. I think she's probably the 7th or 8th city manager I've worked for in my career, the first one with economic development background, and the difference is astounding. She really has the vision, the desire to get things done, and so a tremendous amount has happened since her arrival, and we see the difference. The city has reinvested in the downtown and been really bold in taking steps to encourage investment, to show the city has a confidence to invest in itself. And so we've attracted investment and new businesses. In fact, even during the COVID shutdown, we have had probably 8 or more businesses open up in the downtown. So downtown continues to grow and thrive. And now our new marketing effort is letting people know about that. We're sort of the best kept secret in the region, and we're trying to change that to where we're the best known destination in the region.
It doesn't surprise me because it really is beautiful. We actually had our studio over there in downtown Newport Richey at one time a few years back, and it was right when they had already started, and it was wonderful to be able to walk around downtown and pop into some of the shops and ice cream parlors. It just it's like that old home, old town feel. And the parades that go through there and all of that. So what are your favorite things that you see that has happened since you've been working on these different projects and during this COVID? Are we ever going to stop saying that word?
Well, actually, one of my favorite things is still ongoing. We started a master planning process where we're creating a master plan for both the downtown and for the US 19 corridor, where we're sort of, we've had a lot of success on individual sites, and we're connecting those dots and kind of looking at what's next for downtown, and really where do we focus our efforts on US 19 to improve that corridor through the city. So that process started about a month or so ago, began with a lot of research by our consulting firms, and they've been to the community several times gathering input from the community. And now they're formulating that into conceptual drawings and potential site improvements around the downtown and on the 19 corridor. And so that process is going to last through the spring, but it's very exciting to see the potential of sites in the downtown, of whether it's beautification efforts or economic development in terms of attracting new investment, new buildings, new construction. So that's my favorite part, is planning, creating a master plan and a work plan. But also the marketing effort we started, we hired a marketing specialist last spring, Jacob Freid. He's doing a fantastic job of establishing a social media presence. DowntownNPR.org is our new downtown website, and folks can go there for just anything that's going on. They want to know what's happening in downtown. They'll be able to go there to find what to have for dinner, or specials, or special events. It's all gonna be there. Yeah, very centralized location, as well as getting us into print media and on broadcast television and online presence. So just really getting the word out. All that's happening ongoingly and expanding, and so that's been my favorite thing, is creating a plan of action and then implementing it.
Seeing that before and after.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that is exciting, and that does sound very conducive for creating a master plan. It's like go big or stay home. It sounds like you really have very strong visions for making that difference. And
Well, we created a master marketing plan.
Yes.
Marketing and public relations plan, which we are now implementing, was really phase one of our master plan.
Sure.
A new brand for the city.
Yes.
A new logo and a master plan, marketing and public relations plan. And now phase two is the physical master plans for the downtown and the corridor.
Oh, I think that's fabulous. We need that. We really need that. So how long have you been doing this?
Well, my career's been about 22 years in
Yeah.
redevelopment. I've worked both as a nonprofit director trying to encourage cities to redevelop, and I've worked for cities doing the redevelopment work ourselves. So, been 22 years. I've been with the city for about 14 months now, city of Newport Richey, and I really enjoy the work, and I've been enjoying myself in the community.
Oh, that is just so exciting. Well, this COVID has I mean, let's face it, I get tired of saying the word, I do, but there's something to be said for it, because we do want to get back to some degree of normalcy, if we can. So there are changes that need to be taking place, and it's good to know that they are in our communities, that we can go out, we can be safe, we can engage with others, and we work around it. We just work around it. And I'm so glad to hear that you're opening businesses. Our guest just prior to even was busy right through COVID. So it's really great to have My Chamber TV to be able to deliver what's happening in the community to our viewers out there. We know that we have many business owners that watch the show, that come on the show, and it's just a really wonderful awareness in what's happening. So what else is exciting that's going on, and if this isn't enough?
Yeah. Well, actually, we have a new grant program I'd love to tell you about.
Oh, yes.
One of our great desires in Newport Richey is to increase the retail that's available. Of course, retail is a challenge right now.
Oh, yes.
But we're looking for specialty retailers for shopping boutiques. So we've created some grant programs. We have a rent reimbursement program. Our normal rent reimbursement for new business for retail and as well as food and beverage is we'll pay 50% of the rent for the first year as a reimbursement. Our new program for specific retailers is we'll pay 100% of the rent for the first quarter, 75% of the rent for the second quarter, and then 50% for the remainder of the first year, and we'll pay 75% of their build-out costs up to $25,000.
Wow.
So we're really interested in getting retail established, reestablished in downtown Newport Richey, where people can come down and not only have lunch and dinner. We're a great dining and entertainment niche right now. We want people to be able to stroll the sidewalk and stroll the shops and enjoy some retail shopping as well.
Wow, that is very compelling and very inviting for a new business owner.
Absolutely, we hope so. And we also have a facade exterior grant. We'll pay 75% of those costs as well, up to $25,000. And then if you're not a retailer, but you are, we still have food and beverage qualify for 50% of those costs. So we have a very aggressive grant program to encourage new business. And I think that's one of the reasons we've seen so many new businesses and opening up. Even right now, as we're sitting here, we have probably 6 more businesses that are preparing to open in downtown Newport Richey.
And because of this grant program?
No, just because it's a great place to be in business.
Yeah, it is. It is. Just out of curiosity, did you find businesses closing down due to this crazy business of COVID?
We had some businesses closed during COVID, but if you look closer, 2 of them moved to another location. One did close up and attributed it to COVID. But all those spaces were immediately filled by a new tenant.
So that's a good sign.
Yeah, absolutely. So there are no vacancies now that are a result of COVID.
That's great. So COVID, get out of my way, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh, that's fabulous. We have about 4 minutes or so remaining in our segment. What else can we share with our viewers? What would be, I know, a question. Who would a business owner go to that is thinking of maybe they're a first-time business owner? Is there a protocol for like a new business owner? Do they have to have so many years in business to come to check out this grant? I mean, how do they get going and get started?
Well, they can call my office.
Okay.
at 853-1019, and I'll be happy to help them. The requirements we have for that is at least a 2-year lease.
Okay.
And then we need simple things like a copy of their business tax receipt, and we want to kind of see how many jobs will be created by bringing in their business, how many positions will be in the business, and a copy of their resume and their corporate documents, those kind of things, simple things. But really, we are looking for entrepreneurs. We're looking for those first-time people that always thought about getting into business, open up a retail shop. We want to assist them in that process and get them started. It's a great place to start a business. It's one of the few places, we really see ourselves as the downtown for West Pasco. It's the only historic downtown in West Pasco.
Yes, it is.
And it's a place you can go into business, and you really have the support of the city, the community redevelopment agency, with the concentrated marketing effort. There's a downtown Newport Richey has a Main Street program, which their sole mission is the success and viability of the downtown and the downtown businesses. So they put on a wine stroll and a dessert stroll, and do a lot of business-focused assistance to. So it's a great place to be. There's a lot of support there for businesses. So I also want to encourage people to check out our Facebook page for up-to-date, up-to-the-minute things that are happening downtown.
And what is that?
If you just Google downtown Newport Richey on Facebook.
Okay.
And then we actually have Explore Newport Richey, which is more citywide events and activities.
Oh, yes.
And then we're on Instagram as well. And all those will drive you to the website, downtownnpr.org, to find out what's going on, to stay up to date.
That is so fabulous. So, okay, so new business owners, in case you're just tuning in, just real quickly, let's bullet point exactly what you're offering, because this is really an incentive for somebody to just get ready and just go. So
we'll help you identify a space that's right for you.
All right.
We'll help you with the paperwork to get the grant reimbursement, the rent reimbursement, the build-out costs, to help you with those. So we'll really help walk you through the process to find a spot that's right for you, and get you set up and get you going in business in downtown Newport Richey.
I tell you, that is so fabulous, and you're already getting the new business owners in there even without the grants. So that obviously is very enticing to business owners, whether they've been in business before or not. And it just really is beautiful. If you have not been to Newport Richey, in downtown Newport Richey, take a stroll over there someday, because it is just absolutely fabulous. I would recommend it to anybody, and if you're thinking about doing a business, and it's in a perfect location too, because you're not far from beaches. You can find your way to the Suncoast and get on the roads. 19 is not very far from downtown Newport Richey, and I'm glad to see that you're going outside downtown and working on US 19. We could use a little loving care over there, couldn't
TLC,
it?
yes.
That is fabulous. And so you've been a member with the Chamber, and that's been helping you with going to some of the lunches and the different events?
Absolutely. I have a long Chamber history. I've served on a number of Chamber of Commerce boards and throughout Florida, so I'm a fan of Chambers and encourage businesses to join Chamber and really pull the benefits to them, to participate and to not just mail the check every year and say,
exactly. Thank you. Thank you so much. Great to have you with us, Charles Rudd. Check out Newport Richey, and we'll see you back next time on My Chamber TV. Thanks for joining us. everyone. Welcome back into My Chamber TV. We are the heartbeat of the Tampa Bay community. I'm Barbara Marville Kelly, and with me is Paul Friedlander, and we are experiencing the joy of
the Greater Pasco Chamber of Commerce,
Very
My
good.
Chamber TV.
That's right, and you're going to share some of the things that are happening now.
Yeah, we've got some
finally.
Awesome, we've got some awesome stuff coming up. We took our Lando Lakes Brochure Exchange, which meets at Hungry Harry's. It's the barbecue place out on 41, but they meet at what they call the it's the lake house. So they did it outside. Well, you could tell people must be anxious to get out. They had like 24 people at this first live brochure exchange, but everybody was able to safe distance, and people weren't comfortable, were able to wear masks and things like that. So it ended up being really well. Well, we're going to do it. It's coming up this Thursday again. It's from 11:30 to 1 now, of course, weather permitting.
Sure.
But depending on the size of the crowd, actually, even in the house itself there, the lake house, it holds about 50, so you still be able to social distance. If you had like 25, 30 people, there would not be a problem to do that, 25, 30 in that area. But they are also taking up, here's what's really neat, they're taking up donations. Non-perishable goods that they're going to give to the volunteer way.
Oh, great.
During the holidays.
Great.
And I know there's a lot of groups out there. I'm involved with a few that are going to help with the turkeys for the families. We unfortunately aren't able to do it like we've done in the past. Last year, Community Service Council, we packed over at Trinity College, I think, 1,400 meals.
Oh, my goodness.
And then delivered them to the families. Unfortunately, with the new rules and regs, those were being packed into boxes. We can't do any of that. But there are they've figured out ways around it so that we can still take care of these families. And as you know, we've always talked about what this community is all about.
Oh, my goodness. It really is a heartbeat.
And it really, and how it gives back. We just got done I was able to MC the bowling tournament that the young professionals had. It was quote unquote the Chasco bowling tournament.
How'd that go?
It was actually a blast. What they did was they did every other lane. Unless there were teams that were together, so they would be together, but there was safe distance between the lanes. They had some nice, probably not as many quote-unquote spectators, but you had a lot of family members and other people that worked with them at their businesses. It was a really fun night, and that was something that Angel Cook was chairman of. And don't know what the final results were, but they had this beautiful spirit table. They had a 50-50. And everybody just had a really good time. They bowled 3 games. We keep all 3 games called 9-pin no tap. So if you get 9 pins, it counts as a strike. And so it makes it move along a little bit faster. And then the last game, the third game of the evening, we do cosmic bowling. So all the lights go out and the black lights come on and things like that. So you get to see everybody's dandruff and all that good stuff that they have. And so, but it was successful. They had quite a few teams. It was very, very successful. In fact, if anybody's not been back to Langlo South, they redid the entire bar there. And they serve lunch, and it's no smoking anymore. And they cleaned it up. I mean, if you're sensitive to smoke, I hadn't been in there for a while. Walked in, can't tell that there were. A lot of times if you're sensitive to it and you're not a smoker, you can tell.
Oh yeah.
No sign that there was ever smoking in there. So they did a really nice job of cleaning it up. So it was really, really cool. We got some ribbon cuttings coming up.
Yeah.
We did one for State Farm out in Lando Lakes a couple weeks ago. I believe we did one for our buddies across the hallway here.
Oh, yes.
And unfortunately, I had another commitment, couldn't be there. But on the 17th, which is, I don't even know when it is anymore, but on the 17th, Foundation Chiropractic in Lutz, which I believe is got to be careful, I think it's Dr. Berner, I'm not absolutely positive, but it's at Northpointe Village, right there at 54 in Suncoast.
Okay.
That's going to be at 5:30.
Okay.
They did one while Pam and I were out of town last week. They did one with, not sure what, a Bell and Company. I apologize, I'm not sure what their product is, but beautiful turnout. So people are anxious to get back out. They still want to be careful. They're still going to be cautious, and that's fine. That's okay. Got no challenges, but they're tired of being. People are just getting tired of being in the house. They're ready to get out and do something.
I totally understand that. Don't you find that people are just really in such gratitude to be able to do that now?
Yes, and it's and especially the thing is you've got so much going on right now, and it's like I was on a call this morning, and I just told everybody, I said, let me give you a clue. Turn the news channels off. I don't care.
Yes.
I don't care what news channel. I don't care whether it's CNN, just turn the news channels off. Quit reading the newspaper. If it's going to affect you, trust me, somebody will tell you. And if not, I'm not telling you to stick your head in the sand. I'm just saying that you need your endorphins going, and the only way you're going to get those going is with positive stuff. You know that.
Do your own thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the worst thing, I told you before, worst thing ever happened to this country was 24-hour news stations.
Oh gosh, isn't that the truth?
It's
but
just nuts.
It's a choice too.
It is a choice.
It is a choice. Either you're gonna go down the bunny hole.
Yep.
Or you're gonna rise above it, move forward. That's what.
Yep. Exactly.
Master Kelly and I have been doing, and just moving forward. But what makes me feel good when I interview My Chamber TV, the new businesses that are opening in spite of COVID.
Yeah. I had somebody a couple weeks ago say to me, they go, "Oh, I don't understand. There's somebody that used to be a member of the chamber. It's since moved on. She's retired now, and she was with her. She's gotten remarried and stuff. And she says to me on the phone, she goes, I don't get it. Everybody's still, because I'm in the title business, so everybody's still buying and selling houses.
Oh yeah.
And as nice as I could, with a smile on my face on the other end of the phone, I said, that's just because not everybody thinks tomorrow's going to be the end of the world, and life is still going to go on.
That's right.
And so, and like I said, as nice as I could, there's another ribbon cutting on the 19th, and that's at 5:15, and that's at Moog in 19 right there, and that's going to be insurance benefit navigators.
Oh, great.
So that's going to be, and then the professional women. I'm going to cheat here a little bit with my phone. I usually don't do this. They're doing holiday book donations. The professional women are collecting new books to donate to school-aged children to read over their holiday break from school. All donations must be to the chamber by December 15th, and that is the day prior to the Professional Women's Meeting Day. So Professional Women in Business is hoping to have an in-person networking session in December, so stay tuned for the details.
Very nice.
That's been really, really successful.
Good.
Really, really successful. So look on the chamber calendar for that, the Professional Women in Business. And then future events. We have the Lando Lakes Music Festival has now been rescheduled for March.
Okay.
And Business Development Week, which everybody that knows.
I was just going to ask you.
This is the 27th, 28th year. I'm not even sure. We were looking to do it at the end of January, as usual. I even approached John about possibly, if things weren't back to a little bit more normal, if he could come in and live stream it, but then they made the decision that they're going to push it to April 19th through the 23rd. So they moved it into April. Yeah, rather than, give people, again, hopefully, back to some normalcy. By that point, people will be able to get out and get to the meetings. And I think maybe we'll probably still talk to WeBeam TV and John, because I think what this has taught us is that for the people that can't get away from their office for an hour drive and then an hour drive back for a 1 hour lunch or an hour and a half lunch,
sure,
can now take advantage of it by watching it online at their office.
Absolutely.
So hopefully we'll see some of that. And as everybody knows, when you do Zoom doesn't Zoom's sort of tough for the hybrid type of meeting, because they can't, if you don't have the right equipment. But when you do live stream like John's done for the West Pasco Board of Realtors, that's a phenomenal way to go.
Absolutely. Well, it's professional.
Phenomenal way to go. Yes. So you got those two
professional.
events, and this past Friday, and I was out of town unfortunately, but this past Friday they had the spelling bee.
Oh, did they?
They did a virtual spelling bee. Looks like they made some money on it, and I don't know exactly where or what yet, but they did that this past Friday. But again, the bowling tournament was phenomenal success. You've got the Lando Lakes Brochure Exchange, so make sure you get to the website. Check that out. It's 11:30 to 1. Like I said, if the weather plays nice, then we'll have it outside, so it'll be really, really fun. Donations, non-perishable food for the Volunteer Way. And guys, there's a ton of opportunities, as you know, Barb, in our community. And I'm gonna brag a little bit on our younger son. The younger son's 34, but one of the Rotary clubs down in southern part of Pinellas, I'm on a board with Mitchell Schenkman with Guardian Ad Litem. Well, they had gotten 1,000 books donated from public school libraries for elementary and middle school.
Nice.
And they were in a warehouse all the way down in Treasure Island. and they were donating, and the Pasco Kids First is doing 1,000 bags, goodie bags for the kids and the families that we impact. And so Bryce, who was working up here in Newport Richey, drove all the way down to Treasure Island to pick up these 1,000 books, and I guess they were stuffed everywhere. He got what he could in his truck and in his back seat, and then they had to dump some boxes out. And he had them stuffed. Becky said they were stuffed everywhere in his truck.
Geez.
So he got those all up here, but so he had to go from Newport Richey to Treasure Island, then back to Newport Richey to Pasco Kids First. So there's still a lot of really good things going on.
You can find a way.
Yeah, there's still a lot of really good things going on, and and people, people go out of their way to do good things for people. This is a little off the subject, but I really feel that if the government didn't take as much money for taxes, we'd take care of our own neighbors. And I know you believe that too, and we'd probably do a better job of it.
Yes.
We probably do.
Well
I'm sorry, I didn't
said.
mean to get off on that track, but I just said that to
It's a
somebody
point well
the other
taken,
day.
though.
Yeah, I'm thinking, I just believe in the good nature. The people have good nature,
Yes, I do too.
contrary to popular belief.
And our neighborhood and all the communities around here, and I never realized it till I was doing this show. And I just see the heart, it really is a heartbeat, a pulse that just runs through the neighborhood. People help people all the time, and especially in times of tragedy. So, in crisis.
Even the small, as Pam and I were up in Franklin, North Carolina last week, the beginning of the week, and even in the small shops in downtown, they all had signs in their windows that, in fact, I took a picture of them, trying to remember exactly how it was worded, but it was working together with the Franklin Chamber, and we're back open.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you've got there's just a lot of good stuff happening. We're
Yes.
trying to, there's going to be some slips, guys, and and everything's going to be done perfect because it is new times for us. But as I always say, we're imperfect people trying to put on a perfect show for you.
I've not heard that one
Yeah,
before,
we're
but that's
imperfect people
good.
trying to put on a perfect show, and
Sure.
so Chambers out there. You've got people like John Gaston and Rob and WeBeam TV that are out there. Small businesses that are thriving, but also out there to help the community.
That's right. That's
Help
right.
the community,
When you have a community that gives back and helps one another, it's awesome. And you can always go to the website to find
Yes.
out what the upcoming events are. So don't be a shut-in if you don't have to be. You
No.
can check out the website, find out what's going on, and if you happen to be a business owner, there's new businesses opening
Yes.
up right now and have been even through the COVID-19. You know what? Give the chamber a call and see what they have to offer. And it's not just paying the dues, it's getting involved and engaging yourself as a business.
And again, we're the chamber's learning too. We're doing some things right, and we're probably doing a few things wrong, but we're doing what we think is right to help our small businesses grow.
But you're doing.
Yes.
You're doing, not
Yeah.
not doing.
Yeah,
So there you
exactly.
go. Thanks, Paul. Good
No,
to see you
thank
again.
It was a pleasure.
All right.
Always fun.
We'll do this in another month, and we hope you enjoy My Chamber TV. Tune in every time and see what's happening in your neighborhood and get involved.
And we'll see you all at the
Engage.
beginning of December, and y'all have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
You bet. Thanks for being there.